It's a Tuesday and it's time for Tune In Tuesday. Happens every Tuesday morning around 9:45 Eastern Time. I'm joined in studio by our music correspondent, Lauren Cortizo.
Everyone's been talking about Amy Winehouse. Unfortunately, on Saturday, she was found dead in her house in London, and yesterday they did the autopsy. Unfortunately, it was inconclusive, so they're still going to have to keep doing more tests. But basically, everyone has been so affected by this story.
Were you sort of surprised at all by the way the music world responded? Because Amy Winehouse recently hasn't been necessarily coming out with tons of new songs. You know, she was working on her third album when she passed away. But the way the music world responded really showed how much they respected her. Was that common knowledge in the music industry that Amy Winehouse was this powerhouse who was so respected?
I think so, but I also think because she's kind of dwindled down, we kind of forgot. And then once she passed, I know, like, when I first heard that she was 27 years old when she passed, I immediately thought about how she was going to be part of the 27 club, and how the fact is that at first I would have never thought that she was kind of maybe that elite to be among artists like Jim Morrison and Kurt Cobain and Jimi Hendrix. But then all of a sudden, you know, when she passed, I kind of thought about it and I was like, wow, she really does deserve to be, you know, within this group, which is pretty amazing that it just so happened that she did pass at that age. So, I don't know. I feel like maybe this just kind of really opened everyone's eyes to be like, wow, she really was such a huge icon and she really has left such a huge impact on music. I'm so excited. It's finally out. Basically, I mean, Kanye told MTV in 2010 that he and Jay-Z were working on this collaborative album together. And at first, it was just supposed to be a 5-track EP. And then they released their first single in January, and then it was supposed to come out in January, the whole album, and it never did. So finally, it's
Lauren's
out.
been waiting and waiting.
We've all been waiting. And so, on August 8th, the album will release digitally via iTunes. There's a band called Little Dragon. They're an electro-pop band from Sweden. They actually had a song that was featured on an episode of Grey's Anatomy from the 5th season. So that's kind of where they started growing. They also worked with Gorillaz as well as TV on the radio. So they have some buzz about them, but today they released an album. Their first album was kind of jazzy, a little slow, and their second album was very dancey. So this combines both of them. When I first listened to the first track, which was called Ritual Union, it was hard for me to not dance while I was listening to it. And so I kept listening to the album, and I thought it was really interesting. And even if you don't like the whole thing all the way through, if you're not an electronic music fan, I think you'll definitely find 2 or 3 songs that'll get you moving. Joss Stone also comes out with an album, which is actually the first album to be released under her own record label. I listened to it. I think she's such an incredible talent. I think her voice is amazing. Personally, I didn't think the songs were that great, and I was wondering if, you know, because everyone's in their Adele, you know, phase and they're super amped, if maybe that would help get her moving more, because people want to hear that, you know, power voice from this woman, but
maybe she can ride the Adele train a little bit.
That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping.
All right, Lauren, well, thank you so much for breaking down all of the music news, new releases, tour dates, as well as sharing some of your favorite new music with us.